Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to take the slap orc cowboy and highlight him up. This will take him to the next stage and really bring out those details. And today we're going to be using a wet palette. And this one here is from Redgrass Games. Basically you get the sponge, the case, the papers, but you can make one at home, as you can see. All you need to do is get some kitchen roll, fold it in half, wet it through so it's really wet, and then place some parchment paper over the top. That works just as well. You can just place that into a Tupperware tub. First paint we're going to use is Scorpio Green by Vallejo. As you can see, I've popped it on the palette and we're going to smooth it, make it creamy. Water it down, make it creamy. And we're going to pick out the highlights, the lightest parts of the orc skin. And as you can see, that colour really pops against the contrast. Just make sure you're picking out the places where the light's going to hit the most. As you can see, I was about to do the other ear and realised, no, that's actually in shadow, so don't do that. And just the top of his hand there and his fingers, they're obviously facing towards the light source. So as you can see, I'm highlighting the muscle areas. I like orcs for that, and it's quite a cell looking shade, quite thick layer, and I don't blend it in. I like the colour to stand out and define the muscles. As you can see, I'm using Citadel colours as well, obviously in the little pots they come. And obviously they've not got a dropper bottle, so I do have a little silver spoon there while I scoop it out and place it onto my wet palette. You can buy them pretty cheap on Amazon. They come with a little silver dish that you can mix paints in as well. So this colour we're going to highlight his jeans. So basically it's going to be his knees. That's where the highlight's going to be. And also at the back of his leg there. We don't do underneath the shawl there because obviously that's in darkness. shade. Sorry if I sound a little bit groggy today. I think I'm getting a bit of a cold. Next we're going to use this Pro Acryl. Now this paint's a lot thicker than your Citadel, but it's quite a nice paint. I haven't got many of these colours, but I do like them. They do gather quite a bit of paint at the top though, so you do have to wipe your lids there. And this is my highlight colour for the armbands, the hat and the shawl. Just remember guys, when you're highlighting, you're just basically picking places where you think the light is going to hit. And a little trick, if you're just starting painting, it's just to get a little torch and shine it over different places on your model, like from the top down, from the right side, from the left side, and notice where the light catches. And that's basically what we're doing. We're creating the light source. Quite enjoyed painting this model, and I am looking forward to the next part, which will be the base. I'm going to be using quite a lot of different materials that are new to me as well as you guys. I wanted to make it a fun little scene. And obviously I'm pointing out, I'm going to put some in there, even though it is in shade, but I'm going to blend it out with my brush shortly with water and dull the colour down so it's not as bright. And now this big fringe. So make sure we highlight those fringe edges. As you can see with the contrast paint, it has highlighted them pretty well already. But we're just going to emphasise that point by using this turquoise. That's where speed paints and contrast paints with that black and white slap chop method underneath really does give you those details. Just part of the thinking for you, really. As you can see here, I did use the bigger brush to highlight the fringe, and in hindsight I should have used a smaller brush, and the paint was quite a lot waterier than I thought it was. blob there. Now I've decided, right, now's the time to get the small brush out. You can always correct your mistakes you make, guys. Don't worry too much about it. Now we're moving on to Flightscape Yellow. I'm going to do the straps. Just give them a little bit of pop colour because you can see it's quite a dark yellow there at the moment. Again using the small brush. Back to the citadel. If you are going to move your citadels into dropper bottles, just a bit of advice, don't use too much thin and medium. I think I water the paints down way too much. Just going to highlight the boots there. I love those boots though, they look as though, yeah, I'm ready for anything. They're tough. They've got character. Obviously, if we were in the Wild West, they certainly wouldn't exist. But then again, neither would his massive weapon. But I like the way you can take the different characters and put their own flair on them. It's really, really good idea. It's all about imagination and creating a story. I'm just highlighting the very edges of the weapons there as well. Not too much though, because I want to keep it quite dark. And in between the ammunition there. I think this model took me a total of about 5 hours to paint these extra highlights on. I am quite average painter, I think. I'm not too slow, but I'm also not the quickest painter out there either. I don't want to be rushing anything. I want to be enjoying it. I'm also pointing out here, the parts where I am going to highlight. I'm just doing the very tops of the weapons there. Later on in the video, you'll realise that I take it a little bit too far and I have to correct that later. As you can probably tell, I'm actually doing a voiceover again for this video. I did try to talk while painting. Obviously, I didn't have a mic set up and it didn't turn out too well. I have got a mic on order, so there will be some videos coming in the future with me talking along. Now we're moving on to the metal. Again, the trusty little spoon. You don't normally put metallics onto a wet palette because it does separate the particles, but it's such a small amount that I'm using. I decided to just pop it on the palette for this little bit that I needed. If you have any ideas for any future videos, anything that you'd like to see, pop a comment down below and I'll have a look. There's some suggestions will be quite nice. I have actually got a couple of dioramas lined up for future videos. They of course will be part videos again because the whole diorama build is not a quick job at all. And I'm learning. Never done them before. I've watched plenty YouTube videos and thought, you know what, I'm going to give that a go. Also, another fun video coming up soon is where I take a starter kit from Warhammer 40k and I use only the items in the box. And that was quite a challenge for me. But that video will be coming soon to the channel. I certainly enjoyed the challenge that it gave me. I'm just making that metallic sparkle a bit more. And now we're going to highlight those skulls on the base and the animal skull on his shoulder pad. I don't want to do too much with the stone that he's actually standing on, because that's going to be integrated into the base at a later date. The base that I've got on at the moment is just something to keep him on while I'm painting. And you can see I'm just using that brown and highlight the ropes. Change the rope colours a little bit. It was a greeny colour and I wasn't too keen on the green, so I wanted them more brown. Now we're moving on to his teeth. And his nails. Actually, he's a hawk and he probably hasn't got shiny, nice, clean nails, but obviously I just wanted to highlight them a bit, and then obviously the bird's beak. Now we're using bile green. This is a bright green. And this is just to take that green skin one little step further. So now we're moving on to the second and final sets of highlights. And this time we're only using a small amount And we're just going on the upper top levels and edges. Not too much. I'm just highlighting the ends of his fingers and his knuckles there. And the same on this hand. Just a little. It doesn't need a lot at all. And as you can see, with that little tiny bit more extra green there, it's made that pop a little bit more. And this rust grey. Just going to put another highlight to the jeans on the knees. And at the very back there, you can just see that. Just pops a little bit more. So you can highlight up as much as you want to with these models. You can even texturize the different textures of the materials. You can go a lot further than I have. But for me, what I've done during this video is good enough for me. I'm not going to enter into a competition, so I don't want to take it any further. Now I'm just highlighting the very edges of his hat there. As you can see, I went on to the animal skull, just rub it off there with your finger while it's still wet. And again, tassels, edges. And with this colour, I do add it to the shawl itself, but I do wet my brush and go over and wet blend it in. It turns out to be a little too bright. I do also speed that part of the video up when I'm shading the shawl, because I did take way too much time on that than what I needed to. And next we're moving onto the straps again. All I did was add some white to the previous yellow colour just to lighten it up a bit more. Celestial grey. This is the very edges of the gun. I'm just stippling on some paint here. I'm just stippling on some paint here, because I don't want a true line. And notice I'm not going all the way across either on some parts. And the bird, obviously his feathers. Just want a hint of where that light's catching it. Here's the uppermost part of the model, so he will get some light hitting his feathers there. I think he's looking pretty good at the moment. Now on that weapons, we're just going to highlight with copper. What you might also want to do, which I didn't do on this model this time, is you can use a pale green, turquoise green, and make it look like your copper's eroded. So it's just a lighter brown now, just to bring out the highlight. Like I say, I covered over the majority of the speed paint colour. I wasn't happy with it. So now I'm just going to highlight up with this brown. Coming towards the end of this paint job. I hope you've liked this video. You've had a chance to just sit back with a cuppa and relax and watch me paint. Yeah, so the final part of this paint job today is I'm just going to tidy up where I've gone over the model, over the edges, different colours. I'm just going to touch up. And the weapon there, I'm just using the previous contrast paint, the previous speed paint, sorry, to go over the places I've missed. And here you can see I brightened up the edge of that weapon far too much. So you'll see me shortly. I cover it over with the contrast and dull it down. So that's it, guys. The next step, like I say, will be the scene, will be the base. We're going to have some fun with that one. If you like the video, click the like button. If you want to see more from me, subscribe. Until next time, enjoy your day. Bye for now.